Just mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up, and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there, he's punching me in the stomach, like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around? Who here thinks Ochiko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad goes, 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ochiko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. I saw you there. You're more fucked up than me.
On the Spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you gonna bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it.
The SEC is God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they should.
Look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Monday, July 8th. I hope everybody had a beautiful and safe holiday weekend, July 4th. Lloyd went back to A-Town.
I did.
Congratulations.
And then back to Baton Rouge.
You've been doing that a lot. You've been putting on some miles.
That's right.
Was it 49? No, where do you go? What's north?
49, baby.
Is that 49,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I passed through.
You passed through to go to Dallas?
Yeah.
Did you hit the
Dallas
circle?
this weekend?
Yeah.
He was being good, Uncle Jared.
Well, good, strong.
Yeah.
He was trying to drown them kids.
Yeah, he did the whole
Simba.
I'm the uncle, come in every now and then. Let me be the fun uncle and throw you into the pool.
Simba.
Type stuff. Looked awesome. I did nothing. I was supposed to go to the beach. We ended up not going to the beach. We stayed in town, played golf a couple days. Very
waxed.
hot. Okay. He shot 74. I am nowhere near
You
that.
play golf in this heat?
Cause it was hot, but it felt good. Felt good.
He invited me, but it felt good.
See?
Nice.
Which brings
I
me.
know.
I'm 0 for my last 4. So now your whole theory of
complain.
I got stopped getting invited. No. Now I got stopped. You stopped accepting.
I got time now.
Oh yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see how much time. Maybe a little.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe a little Wednesday morning action.
Let's do it.
I can't do Wednesday morning
No,
action.
see,
I gotta
that's
get
how
down.
it goes.
But I had a beautiful weekend. Chilled. Really needed it. Chilled. Hung out. and we're back at it this beautiful Monday. College baseball draft is a week away from today, I believe.
Major League Baseball draft.
College baseball draft. Well, college baseball players are going to get drafted in that draft. So will high school, so will JUCO guys. Major League Baseball draft is a week away from today. A lot of LSU guys that are supposed to go high that probably won't step foot on campus. A lot of guys that are supposed to go high that were already on campus. Hopefully we get some guys back that we don't think we're going to get back. And hopefully we get some guys that come to school that we don't think come to school. That's kind of the hope for all these big schools who are recruiting these really top-tier athletes to come to their college to play baseball. That's what they're hoping for. We'll see what happens. Last year, obviously, Paul Skeens, LSU guy, 1 overall. Dylan Cruz, LSU guy, 2 overall. We announced Dylan Cruz and Trey Morgan are going to be an All-Star Weekend playing for in the Futures game. Paul Skeens will also be at All-Star Weekend playing in the All-Star game. He's been in the big leagues for 3 months.
Starter?
He's 5-0, and he has a 2 ERA in the big leagues. Nobody's sniffing him. He's been workmanlike through all of his starts. I think his first start was 4 2/3. I think every other, and I could be wrong, every other start, it feels like, is between 6 and 8 innings.
Feel like we got nothing but quality out of him.
Quality. Even when someone comes in early, scores a couple runs, and he says, okay, you ain't scoring again.
Quality.
Yeah. Stud.
Yeah.
So All-Star game, pumped about him. His girlfriend, Livy Dunn, you may have heard of her. She had this nice little congratulations, Paul, with a pizza and champagne. Congratulating him on being in the All-Star team. Congratulate Livy Dunn. She is coming back to LSU for a 5th year. Why wouldn't you? Going to be great for her. Going to be great for Paul in the offseason.
My God.
Now Paul gets to come back. Obviously, he was going to come back anyway, I would assume. But even more reason to come back to Baton Rouge in the offseason to see his girlfriend.
Man loves a football game, it looks like.
Man, maybe we'll get him. Maybe get both of them on the pod or on the show before the game on Saturdays, because there's some conversations
Get Gordon.
amongst
Get it done.
our people in here
Mm-hmm.
that there's going to be some cool things for football season, but football season's 2 months away. We have a lot more to
You
talk
say that
about.
that's like a long time. It's close.
You're
Never
right.
been closer.
It's going to be here closer than we. It's going to be quicker.
Never
than we
been
think.
closer than it was today.
It's a very good
Until
point.
tomorrow.
Yep, and then it'll be closer tomorrow, and then closer the next day, and you just day by day,
By
you just
day.
move forward, and you figure it out, and then that next thing you know, you look up, and we got here. So it'll be All-Star game next weekend. It'll be draft next weekend. LSU baseball is still in the transfer portal, but no players can announce. That portal window is closed.
Shut.
So whoever wanted to leave is already in the portal and they're gone. Now it's up to the coaches to go out there and fill the roster. There's a lot of positions I still think that they need to fill. They will know what they need to do and what they don't need to do after next Monday when the draft is here and who's gone, who doesn't. And I think you're going to start seeing a lot of people commit in the next, few days after the draft. Probably end of July, because you got to wait for some people who are going to sign or not sign. Sometimes they get told early. Sometimes they don't know until the very end. Yes, Lloyd?
When does baseball start? Like, when do you have to start, like, showing up for put the jersey on, go to campus?
I mean, it depends. Some people get drafted, and the next day they're on a plane, and they're going out there, and they'll go to, like, the spring training facility, and they kind of get acclimated with that kind of stuff, and then they'll assign them to probably short season.
I said baseball has already started. It's about how quickly they can get them signed and get them onto a team and playing. And that's obviously depending on what their personal, physical situation is. Like somebody like Paul, they kind of took their time with him last year.
Yeah.
It took them a while to get it signed. Obviously not as long as it used to be back in the day. It took them a while to get him signed, and then they realized, like, hey, he threw a ton of innings this year. We're not going to rush him into this thing. So everybody's situation is a little different, but those seasons are pretty much started. They want to be able to get those guys there and kind of get them playing already.
I was talking about LSU.
What?
Like, when do you have to get to campus for,
Day
like,
one
LSU
for me,
baseball?
when you
yeah.
go to class.
Oh, when school starts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When's that?
It's not going to start early. I thought you were talking about
Yeah, pro
when
ball.
you get drafted, how it happens at pro ball.
Out the college baseball draft.
Yeah. After the college baseball draft. Well, technically, it feels like it's a college baseball draft too, because if guys who don't go in there, I feel like they're back into like the pool of, hey, I got to go and get you as a free agent. But LSU baseball doesn't start till school starts, so they'll get here, a week early or whenever they get here. They'll go to the first class. The minute they go to the first class, they'll come to the camp, come to the Alex Box Stadium and start the initiation of like the new season, and getting all the rookies and all the new guys acclimated. if you were played for Coach Maneri, which these guys in South Carolina are playing for him, which, by the way, Coach texted me, he says, have I been kicked off the show because of my computer malfunction? I was like, no, we're going to get you back on.
Tell him bring his ass back on here.
Yeah, we're going to get him back on.
Let's get him on here.
Hopefully on Wednesday he got a bigger transfer. Texas A&M transfer. Transferred to South Carolina, I believe. Terry Rooney and the boys are going out there and getting it. I forget who it was.
Think they met over Zoom?
I believe it was Texas A&M. Am I just making that up?
This is news to me.
Somebody can fact check me, but I'm pretty sure I saw a tweet about the Gamecocks getting a transfer from A&M. I could be wrong. But yeah, so he's going to come on the show at some point, maybe on Wednesday. Who knows? Why did I bring that up?
Well, he's still on ban.
You were talking about Paul Maneri's opening
Oh,
day
yeah.
meetings.
So if you're like us, you play for Coach Maneri, the first day of practice is the first team meeting, which lasts 3 hours. That's when Jared says, hey, stand up in the back so you don't fall asleep.
I'm going to tell you, no. I never had to stand up in the back on those because I never was a part of one of those.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We just talked about
I always got the
we
miss
talked about. But back to the college thing, they're going to come back and they're going to have these meetings with Jay. I would imagine way shorter meetings. And then they'll go on their merry way and start hitting the cages and start figuring it out and going to all the first of the week parties of the season for all the students.
Wearing as much purple and gold as they could possibly wear to class and from class.
The nice sweatpants
Seen
with a
this
number
thing
on it. You're gonna see the first day in the locker. It has new numbers.
Christmas,
Everything's
yeah,
out there. Great. Now, way better than when we got it.
Ooh.
Because now the equipment's cooler. It's a little bit flashier. The shoes are nicer. Everything's better.
Customization.
Back when we did it, it was
a little different.
You got Russell shirts, Nike shirts, and they were like, fine. That was different style, baggy sweatpants, which probably the most
That was
comfortable.
the style at the time, though. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Probably the most comfortable pair of sweatpants I've ever put on in my entire life.
Yeah, those things took long ago.
Can't find them.
Yep, shocker.
Well,
In
Lafayette, obviously,
you know all them friends.
You move out of your college house, like you leave some stuff. Duh. You know what I mean?
Damn, 11 most comfortable pants.
Thought to be moving in these.
Yeah. Don't have them. Maybe I left them on the road or something.
Yeah,
probably.
On
the road?
On the road.
In my hotel room. But that's when baseball starts. Football starts. Camp has almost started.
Coming close.
Getting close. They have been on the recruiting trail, and they've been hot and heavy. Obviously, some people are nervous because they started to lose some recruits. DK Moore decommitted from LSU. Everybody just automatically assumed he was going to the University of Texas because he's from there, and they were the highest, the biggest competitors with LSU to get him. Does not go there. Goes a little bit further north to Oregon. And seems like Oregon's in everyone else's mix, which means they are probably.
Dan Lanning must be pulling some stops over there with Phil Knight.
You get money. You get money. You get money.
You get a
money.
bag.
That's what it feels like they're doing.
You get your own signature shoe. You get your own.
Hey,
signature
that
glove.
sounds like a good recruiting. Hey, Phil, get on board. This is what we need. And it seems like that's what's happening. They're bringing everybody over there. One of Jared's boys from his hometown.
Yeah.
He was committed to LSU, top 100 cornerback. Decommitted, and now is LSU in his top 3, along with Oregon is one of them. And I don't know who the other one is, but Miami. So he is going to be either in the SEC or he's going to go out of conference. We shall see. Yeah. But
the big.
Yeah. My spidey senses are telling me that Miami's the favorite. Apparently, they were the first to offer to him. Obviously, it's a storied school as well. We'll see, man. Like that's he's got that one in the back pocket. He's got the hometown school in his back pocket. He's gonna make a decision on July 20th, I believe. Mm-hmm. So we'll see where he's gonna choose to go then. But great kid. Got a chance to meet him last weekend. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he comes back. If not, best of luck wherever
Uncle
he
Jared.
goes. There's another guy they're looking up they're another cornerback they're looking at in the portal who is a 5-star in the 2025 class.
Not the portal.
Not the portal. In the recruiting world, he is a 5-star cornerback.
DJ Pickett,
and it seems like Corey Raymond's putting hell of his attention on that right now. So we shall see what happens. They did get a couple commitments. Lloyd, who are they?
They got some defensive
linemen
coming in.
Zion Williamson.
No, Zion
Williams.
Williams.
Lloyd sent me a text like, "There's no way there's another Zion Williamson already
Well,
You
if
know?
2 years ago, you would think Zion Williamson could have played defensive line, but he's trimmed up, gotten better shape.
I think now he's more of a tight end,
More of a tight end. 1,000-yard receiver, maybe.
which we'll talk about.
It was Zion Williams and Brandon Brown, who is a 2026 class guy flipped from Texas. Obviously, the Bo Davis connection where
Yep.
he was committed to him at Texas. Bo Davis puts on talk about getting new gear, puts on new gear, gets him, same pitch, come on over to LSU, have him in the boat, and we'll see how long that goes. Because you have the decommitment more, which now that you look into this, Phil Knight has donated more than $1 billion to Oregon, so starting to make a lot of sense.
He's got it.
Yo, yes.
$1 billion's like nothing to him.
That's pocket.
Here's
I
a
got
bill-
that in
Here, you know
cash.
what? I'm just gonna gift you $1 billion.
He's done that a few times.
You can
over.
do with it what you want. Let's say Oregon says, "All right, you can have university. You can have
University
70.
of Phil Knight.
You can have 70 million of that. I mean 700 million of
million.
that, and we'll take 300 million, and I just put it into the athletic department. And out of that 300 million, maybe 100 of it is going to stick there to the NIL
Pool.
spot. And just see what
Pond
happens.
for Oregon.
Yeah.
Duh.
So, yeah.
All of the cross-country shoes.
Next week's a busy day in Dallas. Busy week in Dallas, actually. All-Star game there. Congratulations. Build a new stadium. Get the All-Star game. That's the way it works. Texas did that. It was a new Globe Life. I don't know if it's still called Globe Life. But the All-Star game is there where Paul Skeens is going to be. What else is there is SEC Media Day, football. And we're talking about who we thought they were going to bring to Media Day. They've announced that attendees of LSU, which Nussmeier is one. Duh, I think we all knew that. Harold Perkins is the other, which I think we all assumed that. I thought maybe he could have gone the senior, but hey, Harold, you're the guy. You're supposed to be the guy. Let's make you the guy. So he goes. And then the third one
Your favorite player.
was, listen, it's the breakout year, boys. 1,000 yards. I think that's why he's bringing Mason Taylor, because he thinks that Mason Taylor's poised for a 1,000-yard season. And, my prediction may have just been a year away.
Just early
Year
on
off,
it.
a year early.
Well, I'm not gonna go that far, but I'm gonna just tell you, that July 15th to me feels like the kickoff of football. Like
Yep.
that's everybody's back. You're gonna have to start having those.
Jared already came in today talking fancy football changes and stuff. So.
No.
And I keep getting all the notifications.
Like, damn,
right now.
dog,
What
it's
do you
not
want me
even
to
July
do?
15th yet. You're already talking fancy?
Bro, I ran into people this weekend that's already doing mock drafts, bro. So
Yeah, that's stupid.
so like that's
Keep
what we're
her
talking
lead.
about
Which,
here.
I don't mean to keep cutting you off. I did watch Hard Knocks. Awesome. I love that. I love this style.
You didn't see it last week.
That was
my
him. He
first time
watched.
seeing it.
Yeah, he watched
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
He watched these. Now
Yeah,
he's
so like,
caught up.
I'm caught up. And awesome.
Yeah.
I like watching the back end of and people making a big deal about those meetings. Like, after watching it, like, I don't think they disrespected them. I mean, I think they were trying to be respectful of the situation, but just trying to. You have to look at it a little bit less.
I think people, if we're gonna get into that, talk
personal.
a little
No,
bit of it.
finish with your topic, and then we can get into that. But
No, I'm just saying, like, to me, SEC football feels like, or I say SEC football, that feels like the kickoff of what is football season because the coverage of it won't stop. So January 15th is the start of SEC Media Days. Obviously, SEC is king in the college football game. To me, that feels like where it's almost boots to the ground and it's football time because that's when you'll start getting the news of everything that's happening, what's going on, what people are looking to do, who we should be looking at, who we should be looking for, who we're going to miss the most. All of that stuff right there. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where it starts.
Oh yeah, I mean, what was it last year when you had Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban go like tooth to throat with each other, where they finally like,
Oh, yeah.
I hate the way that you walk, I hate the way that you talk. Like it came into like this.
Oh, yeah.
Basically came to blows at SEC Media Day where they were tired of just looking at each other. Now both are gone.
I feel like this SEC Media Day is going to be very mellow, very cordial for all the coaches. You got a lot of new faces. They're going to come in there. They're going to try to make a good impression. You have Lane Kiffin, who's going to probably
But I
say
think Lane's
something
coming in
great.
hot. I'm just going to imagine.
But, like, really, there's really nobody else. Kirby's going to do his thing. But
this is a good year for Lane to kind of pump up what they have going on over there, too. And if they can back it up, I think this is a year he kind of comes in there hot and really talking his talk. And
CBS Sports released projections, or what they predict is going to happen between LSU. And they have LSU going 10-2. Losses to Alabama and
Ole Miss.
I think it was Ole Miss.
Yeah, that'd be the only other one on the schedule. I would imagine if you wanted to pick one, it'd be USC, which would be a massive. It would be what 5 straight opening game losses.
Yeah, that
for
would be-
LSU.
that would not be ideal.
brutal. and then that
That would
sets
not
you
be
up
ideal.
for the 12-team playoff where you're once again behind the 8 ball. So, rather be in front of the 8 ball. So if you're LSU, that feels like the USC game is massive.
It is. I
I
mean,
mean,
go
it's
ahead.
huge for him. It's going to either put you in a bad way, if you ask me, because you're probably going to be in the conversation, or it's going to put you out of the conversation, meaning I think you'll be above that win total or below that loss total to where you won't be in that conversation. But if we think these last couple years, this top 4 conversation has been loud, oh my God. Wait till you hear about this 12 through like 15 conversation this year. Well, all of those teams will have 1 to 2 to 3 losses, and you'll be start trying to compare schedules and everything. So I think that start to the year against USC, you win that game, I think it takes you out almost of that conversation of being in that realm. You lose that game, I think it firmly plants you in that spot.
Again.
Going forward. Again.
Yep, no doubt. That would be ideal for LSU not to have to go through that for the 3rd season in a row and have to have an uphill climb. I'm excited to see what Nuss is going to do. I'm excited to see what the receiving core is going to do. Obviously, offensive line got voted number 1 in the country. Very excited to see what the defense is going to do. Very excited to see how much better the
Top 50.
top 50, right?
Top
That's what he
50.
said. Maybe better.
Some people.
But top 50, great number.
Not usually, but top 50.
Right. Great number to like bet on. My point. Like, hey, 49.5, 50.5, whatever you want the number to be.
That's the points they were giving up last year.
Exactly. Right? You cut that in half to 25 points. Makes a huge difference. Looking forward to seeing what the defense is going to look like. Looking forward to Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas talk is starting to ramp up. A lot of people said, in April, I'm out. May, I don't think I'm going to go. I don't really want to do Vegas. June, I don't really know. That's a lot to do. July, hey, are you going to Vegas? Yep. I've been going to Vegas since April. Now everybody's trying to figure out how to make it there. I'm going to be there. I can't wait. I wish we could all be there. We should try to figure out how to jump on board like the media plane.
It's early, dude. We got time.
We got time. Plenty of time.
I'm in there
got
already. I
time.
got my transportation. I got my hotel. I got my tickets. I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna go out there and just make reservations, maybe right now,
We're
ahead of
dudes.
time. You probably
Hey.
should.
Go to the Sphere.
We're dudes.
I do want to go to the Sphere. We'll figure
We're
it
dudes. We're figured out.
out. But I am pumped about Vegas. That's gonna be a fun trip. Gonna be really fun to watch LSU play USC in Las Vegas. But team never sleeps, and they're not sleeping now. I think they're working out, right? They're in there like the weight room, the weight session of this deal, where they're fucking gonna come back to the fall and look like they're absolute monsters.
Best shape of
Yeah,
my
you
life.
on the back end, you on the heels. You have done all of the ridiculous 7 a.m. running, and it's been probably hot as hell out there. You're ready to kind of get into some team format stuff, and it's right around the corner for them. So I'd imagine those boys are kind of tired of that, ready to get into the other side of it, because once you get into the other side of 3 weeks of leaning on each other, you're ready to get into the real thing. So it's right around the corner, man.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, we saw what happened whenever they start leaning on each other. Was it Patrick Queen that came in studio
Fights?
eons ago? Whenever it was Joe Burrow, Patrick Queen, and they were like, "We'll fight."
Oh yeah, and everybody else is posting that
This will
story.
be good for us down the line. Yeah, let
Yeah.
it go.
Get out the sports bra and
let
into
the boys
pads.
go.
Let the boys go.
Let the boy watch.
This is good for us. That's what we need, and you need that. You got to have some. You have to be able to self discipline as a team, right? You don't need your coach to always do that, and they were able to do that. And did y'all ever want to go to? I mean, obviously, it's a dumb question. Michael Rubin's all-white party.
Michael Rubin creeps me out.
Allie was saying the same thing. She goes, "This guy's definitely a weirdo."
Yeah,
Like,
just the eyes.
but I don't think that way. But like, she was like,
Would I
he's
want to?
definitely in a weird.
Time out. What do you mean? Would I want?
No, obviously everybody wants to go. Like, what do you think? Like, I think it looks cool as shit, but is it like as fun as it actually looks, or is it just them?
I'd
like,
imagine so. A billionaire throwing a party in the
Yeah.
Hamptons is probably pretty fun.
I would love to go. I'll never
would
be able
imagine
to
it's
go.
probably not bad.
I think
You think
I've.
Drake wanted to go?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Well, I mean, I'm just
he wouldn't have
saying,
showed up.
like-
I had this question. I asked my wife about this. I go, where is everybody staying? There ain't that many houses in the Hamptons. Like, are y'all all staying in the Hamptons, or are y'all driving to the Hamptons that day? Like, there's no way y'all are all staying at different places in the Hamptons.
I think this
Everybody
week,
that shows up
That's
for the
very
party.
good. That's a very good point.
I think this week get into that billionaire talk. Like we don't figure it
Yeah,
out.
but billionaires
Yeah, but-
also don't want to have to fly into the city and then drive down to the Hamptons.
Copter.
where you staying? You just ride out after the party?
Unless yeah.
Like that, it's a fair question.
Everybody's splitting. You know what? Maybe we should get in touch with Paul and let Paul ask Livy. She was there.
Maybe.
Livy asked Joe.
Maybe they might have had an LSU house there.
People trying to create narratives. LSU. Livy Dunn going in there with Joe Burrow. Easy, right? Obviously, it was all LSU guys. The 4 LSU people were in a picture together. Livy's she's okay with where she's at. She's an MLB All-Star. First overall pick. She's fine. Now Joe Burrow is one of the first overall pick in football, though.
Those are two mitochondrias.
Yeah,
powerhouse of the cell.
Nope. That was literally I was over analyzed. I think.
Bro, what?
I just skipped it. Just ignore it.
Just like science class, man. Don't want to learn.
Goodness.
Summer ball, college baseball, summer ball is coming to an end.
I don't think it's ever been more broken down than it is right now for LSU baseball when everybody is looking at everybody.
Yeah, I agree, man. And then when you look at the roster that they have right now, I'll be honest with you, I'm only really that worried about 2 positions. And then I think the rest of it, and I don't mean like anything bad when it comes to the rest of the kids, but there was so much talent all in one room that it was hard to figure it out. And I think some of these guys leaving may end up being, for this team, addition by subtraction, if that makes any sense. But when I look at the third base spot right now and the catcher spot, those are the 2 like red flags where you're like, what y'all gonna do? Like, where is it gonna come from? Now, obviously, the catcher spot.
I think you throw the shortstop in that same.
Well, I think you're fine because I just – you said there's a possibility. Now, obviously, if he leaves, then that becomes a huge question mark as well.
Right.
If he doesn't leave, if he's still here, if Braswell comes back, I'm fine with that spot.
Yeah, right.
So, I'm less of worried about that because I think, just my opinion, I think he does himself better if he comes back for another year. But when I look at the third base spot, I think there's a lot of competition that'll be had there in the fall, especially with some incoming guys and some of these guys that are bats that they can kind of move around a little bit. And then there's an incoming freshman who is the top prep catcher that is supposed to go in the draft. So if he does not go, okay.
And what was his name?
That opens it up. It's in the doc somewhere. That opens it up for that spot for him. But
is it Trevor Schmidt? No, that's wrong.
No, that's the first baseman kid. It is. It's Aramadi.
Oh, yep.
So that opens it up for him. So that would be a spot there. But once again, true freshman playing in this league, you're not necessarily calling pitches, but you are the field general. That in itself worries me a little bit.
Yep.
But those are the 2 spots that kind of worry me. Everything else, I like where they're headed, even though it seems like they've lost a world of talent. And they kind of have. But you had so much in here, I think it made it hard for you to realize who you can and who you can't really depend on and who needed these opportunities and who can kind of,
and how good
push themselves along a little bit.
How good are these freshmen, right? Like, you're going to go out and get some guys like you have 2 freshmen coming in that can play short second. Probably third base, 2 if they need. How good are they going to be early on? The outfielder decided to take his name out of the draft. He's coming to LSU, highest rated player ever to come to LSU, breaking Cam Johnson's record that came in last year. So
Oklahoma product.
Where's he going to fit in, right? And so, we're looking for the portal, and that's a great thing. You need those guys. You have to increase your depth, and you have to bring guys in the portal that have experience. But let's not discount some of these talented freshmen stepping up and trying to be the guys, a la Milam. I'm gonna say him because he was the one from the beginning. The other guys had their moments and did really well, but Milam is obviously first-team freshman All-American. He's
a dude,
a guy that you want to try to get another 1 or 2 of them in this recruiting class.
Well, Andy, I don't know if we can put too much stock in this, but just going off of who they're bringing in at catcher, which is a freshman and a JUCO transfer. But the other transfers, Eddie Yaman and Luis Hernandez, obviously haven't caught a ton, but you'd imagine they'd get some run behind the plate.
Right.
You would think. I don't know what they look like behind the dish.
I would imagine at least one of those guys
Yeah.
is going to get some run, especially in the fall, to see if, hey, can we play you on a Tuesday? Should we play you on a Tuesday? Can we play you on a Sunday at worst? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would imagine that's probably going to be part of the deal here going forward with what we see on the roster as of right now.
Derek Curiel is the kid, the outfielder's name.
Yeah.
Who's coming?
Ed, you bring up a good point because how much of a difference did having a Milazzo behind the being
Yeah.
catcher
It's
make,
huge.
and now you're going to have
Huge.
guys
It's
with that have
huge.
no experience
No, it's
essentially
huge.
coming
And
back.
that's why I said, I mean, the kid coming in, if he ends up being the starting catcher and one of the guys that they depend on, that's a huge jump to go to that spot and be the field general that you kind of have to be to be a really good team at that spot. So, and we also saw last year, like LSU for the bulk of the season, if you will, they started 3 guys that were freshmen. It's hard to be a top echelon, really, really good team with that many freshmen playing. So you would hope to not have to lean on 3 or 3+ freshmen, right? And as of right now, you see a road or a way of maybe you're at that 3 number or maybe fewer. And I would imagine you probably wanted less than fewer just because, success leaves crumbs. Go look around the league. The teams that were really successful didn't have 3 or more freshmen starting last year.
No doubt.
3 was max.
3 was max.
Texas A&M, North Carolina were the 2 teams that you probably
and
saw
you
late in
don't
the
need
year
to start
where
3, but you get 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And add it. That's a huge thing, especially for the next couple.
What would
of
you
years.
know about that?
Both of us.
Both of you.
Both of us.
But that's what you're looking at. Either that or it's going to be somebody from the portal that it's going to be a whole lot of fresh faces coming for LSU baseball. And I think there's one here. I don't think you can really – I mean, I feel like we put Bear Jones in the draft. Gone, right? Signed, sealed, delivered, not coming back. I think Griffin Herring, that conversation is something that you're going to keep highlighting until it happens.
Yep. Because I think it would help him. It would behoove him to come back another year and be a starter and dominate on the mound as a starter. He's not going to lose any leverage that way.
And he's working as a starter right now in the Cape, where the coach for the team that he's playing on, he and Jay have a great relationship together, and he told him to make him a starter for the summer and see what it looks like. He's like, I want to see what it looks like. Right. So they've been talking about this all leading up to this year. So he's been able to get that experience. He hasn't pitched like a Paul Skeens quality start every time, but he's been going out there for the first pitch.
Yeah, and that's what you want, right? He hadn't.
And he's been dealing.
And he's been throwing well. He has decent numbers. So I think it would help him to come back. That's a big name to focus on. It's one guy that I think that you could get back, and I think him and Braswell are the 2 guys you look in the draft and you're like, damn, if we got both of those back, that's a win.
Makes it huge.
Yeah, that's a win.
If you get, let me tell you right now, if you get them 2 back and you get a healthy Chase Shores next year, that is 3 names that could just produce huge dividends for your team next year.
Yeah.
If you get Shores and what everything Shores has been predicted to be, not only that, but I feel like the way that the team's been constructed for the LSU baseball, what he's been doing through the portal, a ton of lefties last year, a ton of righties this year.
Right. So
and we were all up on
there's
the
only
lefties
2
last
lefties
year.
coming back as of now, coming back that are eligible to come back to LSU. I don't think has he gotten a lefty out the portal? I don't think so.
I don't think so. He's got a ton of righties. And some guys that actually have starter potential, too.
Well, you have a JUCO guy, then freshman, 2 freshmen.
Okay.
That's it. But,
And Kate Anderson.
Well, we set out the portal, so you just got 1, yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
And
The lefty thing didn't really work out for us.
Kate Anderson.
I was going to say, hopefully he's on the
Midweek guy.
Hopefully he started on the weekends. I like to see that. My only concern with the guys you're bringing in, super talented, a lot of velo.
Man, can you imagine what a rotation, a weekend rotation would look like if it's Griffin, Chase, Cade, in whatever order that works?
Now you feel a lot better than being ranked 25th in the country right now.
Yeah.
Hey, that's that you got 3 parts of that 3.5 arms already solved if you got them 3.
No doubt.
And now we just got to find 2 really reliable bullpen arms, which I would imagine with that roster we can find that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Get Fidel back.
Looks like it. We'll see. Newt, I think he's been hurt.
If he can be
again.
healthy, I think. But this is, you either get one or the other, right? You get Cade. You get Chase's
Put him in the bullpen.
process where it's elongated and there hasn't really been setbacks, but he didn't pitch at all this year. Or you get Newt, and a lot of those guys, it takes them a little while. They go through some kind of up and downs, figuring it out. Hopefully somebody like Jaden Newt will have that kind of figured out by the end of next fall and be ready to go once, Valentine's Day rolls around next year.
Yeah. We'll see. Never stops. You got to replace a strength coach.
Yeah.
Strength and conditioning coach.
4th in 4 years.
Huh?
The 4th one in 4 years.
Yep, went back to A&M. So now he's got to go and find a guy to replace the strength coach who he praised early in the season. Thought he was really good. So that's obviously important, especially if you want to talk about injuries and staying healthy and developing. The strength component of that is a huge thing. So interesting to see where he goes.
It is, but you got to remember too. This is an attractive job, man. It's an attractive.
Oh,
place.
no doubt.
It's an attractive one to add. If for nothing else, to have on your resume to be able to move somewhere else. If that's really how you're looking at it, there'll be options. He'll be able to go out there and make it appealing to the people he's targeting.
Yep. Well, dude, it's so attractive. You have Jordan Pineda, who's on the football staff, applying for the job. Like, he's taking it over as an interim right now. But that's like, you have other people looking like, I would love to go work for LSU baseball.
No doubt, it's a winning team. It has a great brand, and you get the same access to all the facilities that the football team gets. So, it'd be a great job to get, and hopefully they do a really good job
filling it.
So Barstool Sports is trying to get Paul Skeens to start the All-Star game.
It's a good promotion. I'd be all behind that.
And they're putting out his numbers.
Oh, it's a deep dive into, like, they did the real work.
And he said Paul Skeens at 2.6 WAR. Now obviously he's got 6 less starts than the other two, and 30 to 40 innings less. Damn, I didn't realize Chris Sale was having the year that he's having.
He's back. And I would imagine.
Yeah, he's back in the
And
Braves.
Reynaldo Lopez.
The Braves are leading the league in shutouts right now. So, like, the Braves ain't dipped if you're thinking they dipped.
Wow, Reynaldo Lopez.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. He was so up and down with the White Sox. He was bullpen starter, didn't know what he was going to do. Always got hit through
Chris
hard.
Sale up and down with the White Sox?
But he
not going there.
Wow.
Not doing it.
He already
has
did.
a 1.71 ERA.
Yeah.
And 2.41 ERA plus. Another stat, I don't know what that means. But he's got 93 strikeouts in 90 innings and 25% carry. Now, Skeens has the highest K rate of Chris Sale, Skeens, and Reynaldo Lopez. Wow. But Barstool's trying to propose him to start. He's obviously not going to start.
You don't think so?
He won't be the starter of the All-Star game.
I think it would behoove them to maybe have their most popular pitcher in Major League Baseball maybe throw an inning.
Yeah. Oh, he'll throw.
I'm saying to start.
He won't start, though.
Just as a rite of passage.
Yeah,
I'm not completely.
Yeah, this is your train.
I think everybody.
I don't think he's gonna start.
Here's what I'll say. I think it's definitely in the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Simply because, like, you're right, and there's a lot of seniority, there's a lot of that feel, but I think everyone that is on that all-star team realizes the talent and the kind of larger-than-life ability that Paul Skeens brings to the game. And I think everybody respects the way he's gone about everything that he's done. So I think he's one that walks in with immediate respect from guys. And let's be honest, like, those guys want that one inning. There's some guys that's going to want to start too as well, and of course, right? But I don't think it's so far out of the realm of possibility that everybody's like, nah, no chance.
Oh, no.
I think this is one that has real skin behind it.
I don't think it's out the realm of possibility. I think there's some consideration for it. I just don't think they're going to choose it. I would hope they do. I would love that. Just looking at the number. Now, they would do it strictly off of name recognition.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I'm looking at the numbers right here, Reynaldo Lopez probably deserves to start. Chris Sale, Chris Sale's 11-3, but Reynaldo Lopez probably, 127 strikeouts. Yeah, he's back.
Oh yeah, he's been impressive.
He's back. So those guys, their resumes are elite. Like they will probably start. I think Chris Sale. I think they're probably gonna give it to Sale. Not bad.
Sale's had a good career now.
Yeah. Came out of nowhere just now. Back. He was hurt for 2 years. Like, hurt, and then came back, was very average for
half a year
and a half.
Half a year.
Yeah. And then
maybe a little longer.
Red Sox. Braves, he wasn't great. Red Sox, he is nasty. He's back. So,
cut up the jersey.
Barstool pushing it.
That's a while ago.
Barstool pushing it. Probably not going to happen.
I do wish that they would go back to the old All-Star jerseys, though, now that we're...
I do, too.
I don't know why I guess I understand why they do it, but speaking of Michael Rubin, for jersey sales, because somebody's going to buy the All-Star jersey. Like, you just get it's the cream-colored one. Go get it, I guess. But I just love the old visual of, like, early 2000s when they're all in their normal uniforms. and it just made it feel like super baseball.
Yeah,
But they're not doing that
we're not doing that.
because you got to make money. Because Michael Rubin's got to throw a party.
That he does.
He's
That
worth
he
like
did.
$10 billion.
Yeah, he was making so much money with Fanatics that he actually sold his stock, and he was a minority owner of the Sixers and got out. But he's like, I could make way more money doing this,
Yeah,
which is crazy.
crazy.
And now, then he'll buy the Celtics
Hey, that'd be awesome.
and sign James Harden.
What?
Oh,
What y'all?
Robert Plaisance. Chris Sale going to start the Sunday before the All-Star game. Won't be able to.
Oh, there we go.
And that's
I
all
figured that was
wondering.
going to be a part of it too. Is
yeah,
depending who's
available.
Start. Yeah, who's available.
When's Paul Skeen's pitch? That's next conversation. Skeen's start day should be around here soon. He actually may be eligible to pitch an inning. That actually may fall perfectly for him.
So that's on the 16th.
Paul has one more start.
He started 2 days ago.
Right. So 1 day rest, 2 day rest, which should be. So start on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sunday is 1 day, Monday is 2, Wednesday 3, Thursday 4. So we pitch on Friday.
That's if they don't have. That's if they don't have an off.
Or
day.
pitch on Thursday. Thursday. Yes, that's if they don't have an off
That's if they
day.
don't have an off day. Yeah.
So Thursday or Friday. Yeah. That's going to fall right in line for him.
Telling you, dude.
I mean-
I'm trying to tell you.
And now what's Ronaldo Lopez's?
So now it doesn't. I mean, now we're down to 2 guys at this
Right.
point. So like, trying to tell you.
What's Ronaldo Lopez?
I mean, they're on the same staff, so he can't be unless he's pitching that.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Sale and Lopez are on the same staff.
No, they're not.
Both in Atlanta, dude.
They're both with the Braves.
Yeah, you said he was a Red Sox.
You
Oh,
said
he
that
was-
earlier.
he
Yeah,
was-
you said that earlier. I was like, I thought
I
you
let it
kind of
slide.
just
My
meant
bad.
yeah.
I thought he was.
Yeah,
he
they're both on the same
was.
staff.
Yeah. You're right.
So
Duh. He was with the Red Sox. Sucked at the Red Sox. Went to the Braves. I flipped it. My bad. Yeah, that's right. So
He last
Well,
pitched
actually-
on the 7th, so yesterday. Ronaldo Lopez pitched on Sunday.
So he's
yeah,
a,
so
he's a day
gonna pitch-
closer.
He's going
Basically,
to pitch
he's a
on.
day
He's going
closer
to pitch
than-
on Friday.
Yeah. So he's I mean,
I don't
I'm
think-
telling you, Paul's more of a
of a
chance
draw.
than you think.
He could. The game's on what? Tuesday or Wednesday?
16th.
So Tuesday.
Let me just I'll paint the picture.
That'd be short rest.
I
He
love
wouldn't start.
seeing the Randy Johnson body style 97 coming from out the first base dugout, but it also is a lot of fun to see somebody maybe hit 102 on the first pitch of the game.
And people know who he is. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I think is the biggest.
Right.
Like, Major League
Like-
Baseball would do themselves a huge favor.
Mustache.
by having
there's a
a-
lot that would go right if you actually threw
Yeah.
him out in this
No, I'm with you.
situation.
I would love it. I would love it. I
But
just
as we know, Major League Baseball
always
doesn't
drop,
care.
They always drop
dropped the ball.
a lot. You know.
No pun intended.
No, what I wanted to say, I was going to switch gears. I was looking at this. So the Joe Burrow conversations obviously have been talked. Nobody really said anything because he's been hurt. But now in the offseason, they need to figure out something to talk about. Hey, are the Bengals their window shutting? Can Joe stay healthy? Is he too injury prone? All these types of things. Joe obviously, I think I like that because Joe obviously loves to prove people wrong and go out there and say, oh, you said this. Kind of has that little Tom Brady in him in that way. What are you expecting from him?
I'll be honest with you. I'm worried.
Are you?
Now I got some sources.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can't reveal my sources. I
Oh.
got some sources that said, look, the injury you had it's a real injury,
Real.
man, and it's
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
what was it again?
If you just I don't even
Wrist.
something with
that's
the
right.
something
That's
with the
right.
ten, and if you even just go back to the actual play or the one that took him off the field because obviously it wasn't the first time he felt it. That wasn't a high stress type of play. It wasn't
No.
a hard throw. There wasn't much. You didn't need much out of it, and that's the play that took him off the field and into the season. So when you just go back to thinking about that, it's all right. And then hearing conversations from sources I got about it, it's a real injury to be worried about. And I would also say at this point right now, they are still monitoring how much he throws and all of that, which I'm not saying is wrong, but that also should tell you that this
Yeah.
is a real injury.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about it. I will say this on the other side of it, though. For me, if there is a person, a personality, a type that I can see finding a way to get over the hump, he is the prototype of that kind of person.
Yeah.
That's what he's done his whole career. That's the person that he is. That's who he personifies. And him picking up things like learning how to play the piano to help with his dexterity and all that stuff, I think it's huge for him. Just will you be able to do it when it comes game time? Like that's the only thing. But if there's somebody that could do it, I think it's Joe.
Yeah. Have they had any video or anything of him throwing?
Mm-hmm.
And how does it look?
He's rocking like the wrist tape and the sleeve over.
Yeah,
the
it's
tape.
fine, but like,
Yeah.
how does the ball look coming out? I don't care.
Fine,
I don't care.
but-
He can wear a copper tone fit elbow guard. I don't give a shit as long as the ball's coming out.
Shout out Brett.
Shout out Brett and
Jerry
Rice.
Both did it a long time.
They did. They probably need it.
But the thing about this injury, apparently it's like the ACL of the wrist, where this is like something that is hard to come back from. Like ACL has obviously improved dramatically over the years, but it's one of those like where it's integral to what you do with your wrist. And there's been a lot of doctors that have come out and said, even if you have surgery and successful surgery, you might not ever be 100% again.
Yeah, and just like the ACL, like we don't have a legit smorgasbord of like test cases with this, right?
Right.
Like we found through ACLs of, all right, this is the best way to do the surgery. This is the best way to do the reconstruction. This is the best way to do the rehab.
Right.
There is so much information and so many cases of it. It optimizes that program so
Right.
much better. There isn't that for this.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that, oh, he can't come back from it, but there's so much less data and ability
Right.
to able to kind of push him to the other side.
So
That's where we're at.
here's what I say about those stats, Lloyd. Like, like the doctors are saying this. To Jared's point, not a lot of guys have had this. I don't know how many football athletes, quarterbacks, or whoever has ever had this type of surgery before. Maybe none. I don't know. Maybe a few. Not a lot. And so these doctors that are coming out they're saying, hey, it's very hard to do this based off of the experiences they've had with their surgeries and their patients.
Right.
Their patients are not world-class, elite physical athletes. And I'm not saying, those normal people are just made differently than professional football players and guys with that. I'm not saying he's going to make it magically just heal, but the recovery process and the rehab process, his body's going to react differently than the normal human being. All I'm saying is, to your point, if a guy can overcome it, that's why football guys get back from ACLs way sooner than other people.
I'll tell you this. I truly believe a high-level athlete and all high-level athletes, and I really just mean like guys that get to professional ball, in my opinion, it's not that so much that you're, sperm meets the egg and you're a better player, but we all become better. We all become high-level compensators. Right. And you figure out ways to work around things that are deficient at some point. But with that being said, I can give you from personal experience.
For sure.
When I had the ankle injury, I can remember sitting on the doctor's table for 2 hours after I had the MRI and watching a group of 3 doctors stare at the MRI and everything that went on. And as time went on, as years went by, I realized, and I actually got conversations with some of them, that was they had no clue what to do when it came to rehab process. What are we going to do? How are we going to form this? I'm not saying this is the first ever, but you're trying to figure out those same type of things for Joe. And for me, that's why it becomes like, all right, this may not be that. This may not be a speed bump. This may be more of a hill that he's going to have to climb.
Right.
And that's where I'm at with it.
And to saying same thing you're saying, and back to the point, you, a normal person, Lloyd, this is no offense to you, Lloyd.
Elite.
Lloyd would not have recovered from that injury the same way you recovered from it.
Yeah, but
Even if he had
took me 2 years.
I know that, but that's my
So,
that's my point though. As I'm saying, I know that it took a long time, but my point is the way you recovered was going to be different than the way he recovered, and so it may take him longer, and hopefully it doesn't.
And here's why it becomes a big problem for Joe, in my opinion, is because let's be honest, if Joe's on the field, we as athletes, as people who watch sports, as people who are in sports, when you see a guy on the field, that is him telling you he is what? Healthy, right? So if Joe's on the field and the Bengals are playing and they're not in contention, you're going to deem it as, not we, but like the media and the everything that's going to be spun around it is Joe ain't the same. Yeah. Joe will never be back to that level. That's where it becomes a big problem at, because he just may not be back there yet.
Yep.
And we don't know how long that's going to take. Only he knows that, or maybe he doesn't even know.
And maybe he's back.
And maybe he's back. We don't know. But my point is that's why it scares me, is because I know, I would imagine, hell or high water, if he's going to be out there week 1. So if he's out there week 1, it's going to be looked at as Game on. Let's go. We expect a Super Bowl contending type team right now, and it may not be that. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
I'm looking forward to it though. I don't know. I mean, you're starting to see more of Joe, and that means football season's getting closer. It's a big question mark.
Yeah, he did his one podcast interview that he does like basically every other year. He goes on Pardon My Take. He did after the 2019 LSU National Championship where they're all still hammered.
Yep.
Saw him out there, actually. Saw, not Joe. He was at Red Eye in the Big Dick Joe hat. But I saw PFT and Big Cat was already in bed, but I saw them out at the bar. And then shocked to see them up at 7 a.m. and doing an interview with Joe. And that was the
We've
last
done
time
that. Just not as fun as the Super Bowl. I mean, the
National
National
Championship.
Championship.
Yeah,
we've
it's
done
still
it.
fun. You rally.
Figure it out.
Your brain's in a great spot. But from everything that like orthopedic surgeons are saying about this like scaphoid injury, it's something that it's going to be hard for him to later down the road whenever he gets like into more of his playing career. He's 27, 28. Like it's
Is he that old?
yeah.
Wow.
But it's more of like you get degenerative bone loss because the blood supply is
So maybe we should bring in our own orthopedic surgeon.
We could.
I mean,
you might know
we
one.
might have a resident one.
yeah. And I mean,
He's got some time.
Yeah.
If he's got some time.
Yeah, I mean, why don't we just do that? Like, so instead of us just trying to figure it out, hey, why don't you come here and explain to us exactly what happened? We're gonna do that,
Harder to do the dart throwers motion. Flip the wrist.
huh?
That's all I'm reading. Yeah.
That's how you do it. You have to pronate.
Yeah. Don't supinate.
Yeah, you go here, thumb to the lip to the hip, finish. Boom. There.
Get under center.
That's it. No, definitely don't want to get under center anymore. Shotgun. I don't even know. People don't do that anymore.
Joe does. That's what they brought in.
Well, that's
brought in new
NFL
offense.
guys have to teach some of these guys to get back under center because they've never been under center their whole life. Think about that.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes didn't know how to identify the Mike linebacker when he was a rookie.
It's crazy.
Turned out all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
I mean, that's not that huge of a deal.
Just the guy in the middle, dude.
It's really not.
We'll start there.
It's really not, though.
The centers call out too.
And some teams, I'm saying, some teams leave. I won't say leave it on, but like
Put it
centers
on.
are calling it too. So it's like that burden's not on every quarterback across the country.
Yeah,
so
you
it is
saw
something new.
Yeah, Barrett Jones and A.J. McCarron were bickering at each other 42-14 against Notre Dame where they got in a fight in the middle of the game because they were both calling out signals, and he was like, God damn it, stop it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning's been known to have that bickering.
Roll the dang ball.
There you
Jeff
go.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I love that. That's. I mean, that's.
Oh, it's football time, baby. There's some junk talk coming. I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's here.
It's not close enough though. We had the Olympics. The Olympics.
Well, not
Coming up.
football.
Away.
A lot of LSU swimmers in the Olympics. I found that out today. And swimming, which I didn't know this, but I guess the more I thought about it, it makes sense. I was listening to it might have been like a show or podcast or something, and they were like, you know, the Olympics, the Summer Olympics are the centerpiece of the Summer Olympics is the swimming events. Like swimming is like the most popular event in the Summer Olympics. So I had no idea LSU had this many swimmers that are competing in the Olympics. I think there's their best one is from Canada. He has a chance to medal, maybe win the gold. Well, I think we're gonna try to get the coach in, one of the assistant coaches, to come here because, I mean, I love watching it, but like, man, the swimming and then the breathing at the same time, that's
Pronate.
hard to do. You all pronate and you come back, right? You come back.
Did you see the video I sent you today, by the way?
What?
About the guy talking about? We'll talk about it.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Talking about swimming, but it's great.
I don't think I saw it.
Oh, it's good.
Can't swim.
But, you know, I don't know what's going on. Hey, what do you have to do here? What's the technique? You know, maybe talk a little Olympics. Olympics are really fun to watch. It's going to give us something to watch for these next few weeks. Because, Jared, you turned on sports TV today.
Yeah.
Wasn't much on it, huh? Wasn't much on it.
Wasn't much on. There was Wimbledon. Wimbledon was on, and if you like tennis, it was on all day and all night. Hey, I'll be honest with you. Look, call me crazy.
Okay, crazy.
Yeah, you can call it. Euro League Championship.
Oh, yeah.
Copa America Championship.
I've been
they
watching
play
it.
it just like FIFA. It is electric. Them boys is trying to score, son. Hey, them boys up and down the field, flopping their asses off, everything, bro.
Hey,
it is crazy.
I
watched that all weekend.
I don't really watch soccer, but that
I was watching it
I
all
watched the
weekend.
World Cup, the Olympics. I watch that kind of stuff. Like that's the best players in the world. You know what I mean?
You get a text from the doctor?
No.
Oh.
The doctor.
I didn't know if you reached out to the orthopedic surgeon.
Oh no. Yeah. Oh well, he's probably
In surgery.
Yep.
I'll watch the soccer.
You watch
I'm just throwing it out. Oh, man, we got him!
Finally! Off the fucking
Finally!
thing. Damn it! It's all
Yep.
over there now. It
You don't
slipped, It
miss.
slipped off the table. I was trying to massage my arm.
I might have to go get a damn dry erase board today.
Well, I wasn't even
You got
playing
it,
with it
though.
with my hands there. I just
Yeah,
dropped it.
same thing.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Damn it! He's on the ground.
Fumble the bag.
He's on the ground. What were we talking about before I just dropped the ball?
Soccer. Should have used your foot.
Well, I got a lot of obstacles in here with my feet.
No, I actually don't think your feet or leg is long enough to reach that ball.
I don't even think I could. Yeah, I don't even
So
think I
it's
could.
not gonna
You know,
happen.
get out of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
look
not
at
there.
you. Okay, I think we should stop zooming.
Hey yo, whoa.
Michael Rubin.
I got no pants on.
Hey yo,
Oh.
you did it.
It's like the old Sports Center commercial.
Take it easy. Lloyd's just trying to show off his capabilities back there.
Uh-huh.
That's all it's really
Hey,
about.
look, we got some cool stuff happening right now.
We're connected.
We are finally in the process,
Of being in the process.
and y'all are gonna be able to see the results of this because it's all behind the scenes stuff. But once this is done, then everything else around us
Gonna come
is
together.
gonna get to come together, which
Beautiful
I'm looking forward
picture.
to.
Maybe we'll do a tour.
Here's a question. Well, I guess we've already had this discussion off the air, but about football season, about what we want to try to do for football season. But we can't do live stream, so
We can talk to our guy. You have to get one of those packs that are like $300,000.
they're expensive, huh?
A live view, yeah.
What do you think? You think our boy can maybe borrow one?
Those are tough to fall off the truck. A lot of stuff is falling off the truck for this place.
No, I don't need to keep it, but borrow it. You think they'll let us?
No, they're real particular about this, especially during hurricane season. That's what they're for.
They keep them in
Speaking
inventory.
of hurricanes, Florida kind of got hammered today.
Houston got hammered today.
Hey, Florida, Jesus Christ, Florida not getting hammered.
You are just like every 50-50 ball you've had, you've dropped.
Yeah.
Man ain't want a tip in
Houston.
all day.
Houston kind of got hammered. You probably don't remember Tyler Frederick. Played baseball at UL, my age. Played on the travel team. He lives there now. I was like, hey, how's everything doing? He goes, great. Then he's talking about mushing something. I said, hey, how y'all doing over there? He goes, man, thanks for checking in. Everything's great. Sends me a text message. I wish you wouldn't have texted me that. Then he takes a picture. Tree on his house.
On the house.
Yeah, but it looked like it landed kind of gently. And it's because the gutter's still intact, so it's leaning up against it. I don't know how much it messed the roof up. Hopefully, it didn't mess much up. But I'm supposed to go to Houston on Thursday. You think I'd be okay? You think things
I would not head that direction, no.
I think you can head that direction. I just don't know how much you gonna actually get done there. They got hit pretty hard today.
I don't know. It's Category 1.
I won't say hit. They got hit pretty hard. There's a lot of rain. That's what they got. They got a lot of water.
flooding.
They got a lot of
I think
flooding.
it's more of that, and that's why I think I'd be able to make it. Because
Yeah.
it's more flooding than
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think you'll be.
Yeah, some
fine
power
getting there. I
outages,
just don't know
though.
what you'll actually be able to get done while you're there.
And a whole lot going on in
Are there any other-
that
what-
area, too. You have the All-Star game, and then you have
Yeah, but
SEC
that's
Media
Dallas.
Day.
So
Dallas,
it's
that's
not.
Oh, it's
Houston
more-
got
Hours
hammered.
north,
Dallas did. I mean, Dallas got rain for sure, but nothing like what Houston got.
Other hurricane season was
Do we have any other? I mean, usually when there's a hurricane that hits, there's 3 more behind it. Weatherman Lloyd, do you want to see? We're gonna talk the weather.
If there's any tropical storms,
No, they're still on Barrel.
You can Google anything after Barrel.
National Hurricane Center. We're good.
You sure?
Yeah. They just got Barrel. But we do have some questions in the chat.
Perfect. It's not. We need them.
Sure. Hold on, let me find the one that... Oh, this is from Robert Plaisant, I believe. He said, can you elaborate back on seeing Skeen's pitch and Randy Johnson pitch and seeing the ease of delivery and how you can throw that hard for that long? To you boys.
I mean,
Were you saying the easy delivery for the Randy, or were you saying
I was
like,
speaking.
Sale?
I was
yeah, you're
talking about Sale.
Either way.
I mean, speak on the easy delivery of Skeens. I think, and I've been firm on this. I am not a doctor by any means. I'm not even close. I hate biology, but just from watching other guys who have like lasted long and not had a ton of injuries, and guys that have, Paul Skeens has the body where like he's throwing 102 miles an hour and it's coming out really hard, but he doesn't have this like overly whippy arm. He's a big guy. His mechanics are really good. It's very smooth delivery. All of those types of things kind of are in his favor for like a prolonged career without having a ton of injury. The guys who are like whippy and getting literally everything look like their max effort, it kind of seems like they put more strain on it. I don't know. But, you know, the easiness of his delivery and the way he throws, I think, is going to bode well for him for longevity.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, when it comes to what's under the hood, I mean, he's every bit of 6'5", and he's probably about 250, right?
And like solid.
And solid, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of muscle. There's a lot to work with, if you will. Secondly, is like you said, I'm not a biometrics genius. I don't know this stuff like the back of my hand, but what I do know is when you watch him and you can tell how easy it comes, it's because he's so efficient with what he does. Now he's not over elastic, if you will, but the elasticity is there, obviously.
Look at him losing all these big words.
Yeah, you know, so he's able to play it and be able to continue to do it. I think that has a ton to do with his durability and how he's been able to do stuff. And the guy's a workhorse, man. Like, he knows how to grind. He is someone who's going to go out there and work. And so to be able to kind of marry and mesh all those things together, I think has been something that's been huge for him to do what he's been able to do in kind of the short time frame that he's been able to do it.
Yeah.
But when I was talking about Randy, I was really referring to
Sale.
the kind of mirrored look of watching him and Randy, Sale and Randy, kind of their motion and their delivery.
Because there's a lot of people that are analyzing Paul Skeens' gait and comparing it to one. There's the guy went to San Diego State, Strasburg. Yeah, they're saying that they have the same walk where he walks on the side of his feet, and that doesn't bode well for a pitcher, as opposed to having to walk on the inside of your feet like a la.
But Strasburg's mechanics were fucked up when he got to
Strasburg
with like.
They say that Skeens does the same thing.
Skeens has a shorter arm.
I'm just saying, this guy is all over it. Like, he won't stop posting about it on Twitter.
Well, because he wants to. If it happens,
because if
he's
it
gonna be
happens,
right.
he wants to be the guy, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to put predictions out and say, "Oh, it's gonna happen eventually," and then
Boom,
it happens. Oh yeah, I told you 15 years later. I told you it was gonna happen.
I'm bound to think that Paul Skeens has probably been evaluated by a couple of doctors, and whether the Pirates organization or
You
just
can't
in
predict
his
that
own,
stuff.
Yeah,
You have guys that have looks like their UCL is like perfect and
Mark Pryor
not
had
a
the
ton
best
of wear and tear,
mechanics of
and
all
then
time.
boom does it. You have guys that, this guy's gonna blow out any second, throws 15 years, never blows out. Like,
I think that's the one people don't really understand this either when it comes to it. Is
speaking of, my elbow feels like it's gonna explode right now.
just now.
If I picked up a baseball and threw a baseball, I think my elbow would come
Take
off.
it easy after dark. Anyway, when you look at when you look at
That's slow for you.
Yeah, I know.
what people don't really understand is like we can work out muscles and all this stuff, but the one thing that's never progressed because we haven't whatever doctor figures this out is going to be a mega billionaire, but you can't do anything for ligaments. So like they are pretty much as they come.
Right.
So you don't know what you're getting when it comes to who's got what and who's elastic here and who can do that, and that's the crapshoot of it, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get them from dead people. That's where we are with cadavers and replacing ligaments.
Yeah, but nobody's
dogs.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna lay down and say, "Put me to sleep and cut me" when I'm not hurt.
Right.
So
there's no preventative.
We don't know.
happens.
Like, there's no preventative
fixing,
way.
You're not fixing something until it's broken.
Exactly. I'm not gonna be like, man, I think my
You know what? You just need to have like was it Wakanda with all
vibranium.
That's what you got. Fine.
You can put us back in the game and you give me some of that.
Shit. I'm better than I've ever been in my life. I need it right now for my elbow. I was doing pull-ups this morning and I'm like, oh my god, my elbow is gonna explode.
Coach,
I'm gonna
if
tear
your
my
elbow's exploding while you're doing pull-ups, we got to talk about it.
Oh no, it's not.
You
good.
shouldn't
That's
be.
not
yeah,
good.
You gotta be using them lats.
It wasn't good.
And
No,
Dallas.
I am, but you're still gonna feel it in your eye. It's still a bunch of pressure coming there. It hurt.
Gotten soft in his old age. That's all it is.
Shit, it
No
hurt.
longer a high-level compensator. That's over.
Nobody to push him. Do you want to get into this list
Yeah, let's go.
of Josh Pate?
Yeah.
Ranked LSU as the 11th best program over the next 3 years. The only reason I'm interested in this is because I don't know if he's clickbaiting me, but
Some of that, yeah.
I'm cool
He is.
with
You know he is.
I'm cool with the first 5: Georgia, Bama, Ohio State,
For the
Oregon,
top
Texas.
5?
Yeah, for the next 11 years. I'm interested.
Oh, this is for now and the future.
Yeah.
yeah for
Programs.
Next,
This
yeah,
is
starting
programs.
now
Rating
for the next
programs.
10 years. Let's do that. I mean, I'm interested.
No,
we're
next 3 years, it says. Top
Oh,
15
3
programs
years.
for
I
the
don't
next
know why.
3 years.
11th best program in the next 3 years. Yeah, that makes this list even worse.
Yeah,
but
it does.
I am interested to see what Sark does, and because he's going to have a ton of pressure on him, we all know his history. So that'll be interesting to see what happens at Texas coming to the SEC. But 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10,
Can you put the list on here?
no.
Okay.
6 is
Where is
Florida
this?
State.
So I can look it up.
7 is Notre Dame. 8 is Oklahoma. 9 Michigan. 10 Texas A&M. 11 is LSU. And I just feel like those from 6 to 11, you could have easily put LSU 6.
Hey.
And that's why I feel like he's
So I'll
goating
say
me.
this.
Oh, it's his tweet.
This isn't. Obviously, we're going to talk about LSU in this situation, but if I just use 2, I'm not even going to really touch on the rest of them, but if I just use Notre Dame and LSU, right? Notre Dame's at 7 in this list. LSU's at 11 in this list. Notre Dame's been what have they eclipsed over the past, 10 years? LSU's been where past 10 years. Now, LSU's coach over the next 3 years has one of the best recruiting classes coming in here starting next year. Notre Dame's coach, who took over for LSU's coach, who I respect the hell out of, but he's unproven. I don't know how you have that team 4 steps ahead of the other team at 11. That's
Well,
just
not even
crazy to
that,
me.
right? So not even that. That is a big one. Then you got Michigan and A&M, both
new head coaches.
with new head coaches. A&M has no reason, in my mind.
Well,
to be
Michigan's
up
got a first-time head coach.
And yeah, right. And so those 2 teams are above. So I don't believe that. But I mean,
And the A&M team who's never done anything significant.
yeah, I think Penn State's at a perfect spot for them
yeah, they're always
because they're always going to be like that's exactly where they're going to be every year.
they're going to be interesting to see what happens with the new playoff because that's where they'll fall. They're always on the outside looking in with the Penn State team that loses 2 games, whether it be to
Well,
Michigan.
and then you
Ohio
got
State.
Oklahoma. Obviously, Oklahoma, Texas come to the SEC. I think Texas, obviously, Oklahoma's going to be interesting. How is Venables going to be here?
New contract.
New contract.
I think both of those teams will be fine, man. I really, really do. And like I said, I don't know. We don't know. To be seen is what the top end of what they're going to do is. But those are 2 quality clubs that you're throwing into this mix now, who is another bump for everybody. Not just them having to get into this and they got all the bumps, but they're also another bump for everybody and another quality team in the league for everyone else to play. So like that's gonna matter as well. And I can tell you one thing, they ain't gonna be at the bottom of it. I can promise you that. And with them being able to now use the pitch of, and you can't come into Texas, you can't come into Oklahoma, you can't come into North Texas and take all these kids out and say, come compete with and against the best conference in the nation. No, we're now in that conference. So we're competing with you as well. So they're going to be able to keep a lot of those kids home. And we all know Texas is a hotbed for recruits, and they've put out a ton of good ball players. So
Yeah.
I think both of those teams will be very much in the mix going forward. I really do.
And I do agree with him with this respect that Oregon's getting it for because you're starting to see it play out where you get a Decory and Moore from Texas where I mean, I don't think that the money.
Oregon was like, nobody was mentioning Oregon.
Yeah, well, he was just always in the top 3. It was Texas, LSU, Oregon, but it was always Texas, LSU. It felt like then out of nowhere he drops this. I mean, he's not gone yet, but it was a weird Q&A with his mother at his commitment ceremony, which was just bizarre. But other than that, Oregon is very much in the running for all of these things when it felt like Texas was the one that maybe lost out more than anybody because he's in your home state and you shouldn't lose kids like that. And
I think
they did it with Colin Simmons where they got him, and it feels like that was going to be in the same category, but Oregon made a mega push. And
I think when you look back at it now, and you look at the Dan Lanning, and people thought he was going to get poached and take the job.
Turned down Alabama.
I think we know now why he turned it down, because he's getting all the resources and all the backing he could ever need to do what he needs to do up there. And let's be honest, if you're going to be in the what is it going to be now? Is it still going to be called the Big Ten? I would imagine, right?
Yeah,
they're going to be.
They don't ever
in the
change
Big
any
Ten.
of this. Which it's not. It's
If you're
still
going to
the
be in the
Pac-12,
Big Ten,
and there's
you really,
two of them.
You're really trying to be one of the top 2 teams coming out of there. Like, they're probably going to get 3, maybe even 4.
Yeah.
But you really want to be in one of the top 2 teams. I would imagine he's like, hey, I got a chance to make it Ohio State and us, or Michigan and us, or one of the. I want to be in that 3 trio every year, and he's getting the backing to do it. So it's, yeah.
And that's why I'm surprised to see. I guess maybe more Oklahoma than Texas, but to be able to make that leap to the SEC, where you come in and they all poach on themselves, and you eat yourself in your own conference, where you could just go win the Big 12 or Big 10 and you're in.
I'm interested to see. So yeah, they are doing what they need to do. The biggest reason why, in my mind, why Oregon hasn't won and wasn't able to win the national championship, does really well but never really can seem to beat the big teams, is because they don't have the guys up front on both sides of the football consistently to be able to do it. They're a little bit smaller on the defensive side, a little bit smaller on the offensive line side. Great offense, run and gun type thing. Then you face a team that can kind of, overpower you.
All finesse.
In the inside of it, it makes a little big difference. So are they going to be able to go and adjust that?
But that's the thing. They went and did what they hadn't done in the past, in the sense of, all right, we can't get over the hurdle.
They won over someone down
So
south.
we're going to get one of those guys that's hot and upcoming down there, and we need him to bring that football culture here.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Dan Lanning's doing that.
For sure. Yeah, they're a scary team.
Yeah, but other than that, LSU at 11, I would put them in over Texas A&M.
I'd put them about 7.
I'd put them over
7 or 8.
Michigan with like what you said, with
And
the new coach that nobody knows
New
anything about. Yeah, new quarterback, whole new scheme. Like, running backs obviously coming back.
Coming off a scandal.
Yeah.
Scandal. Wait, that's a different player.
Yeah, I know.
He put out a statement today. That was Oklahoma State's running back, was it not?
What? I'm not talking about that scandal. I'm talking about like the spying scandal.
Oh, yeah.
I
guess that just goes away.
Going into next year, yeah.
Yeah, that was a Harbaugh thing.
Yeah.
But him gone, and they just hired not even the defensive coordinator, just I think it was the OC that they brought in. The defensive coordinator goes to the Ravens, or did he go to the Chargers with him? He went to the Chargers with him.
He went to the Chargers.
So it's a whole new program over there.
And we threw that one at the top.
Yeah. And so I think I would put LSU in over A&M. I'd put them over Michigan. I'd put them over Oklahoma. I'd put them over Notre Dame. Florida State's interesting, but I would still put them over Florida State. And then when you get into the Texas conversation, LSU should probably be 6 on this list. I'm okay with everybody else.
I say anywhere from like 5 to 9, and I think 5 may be a little high. I think 9 may be a little low. I really do think like 6 to 8 is probably where they really should be ranked in this situation.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida State was about to fire their coach. And then they go undefeated and don't get in.
Yeah.
And then you'll have...
I forgot they went undefeated last year.
And nothing happened. And then they got their doors blown off.
They did exactly what everybody said. Hey, you want to prove it to us?
No.
Like, it sucks. Why don't you go here and just go blow it? Instead, you got your doors blown off because everybody left.
Because you're looking at, even underneath this, like Clemson, Miami at 14-13, they could both be looking for new coaches next year. Tennessee, you don't know. And then Oklahoma...
That's crazy saying Clemson could be looking for a new coach.
Yeah. Well, I think they're kind of...
They're stuck with Dabo.
I think he's wearing them out. At some point, that kind of, you get the Les Miles treatment. We're like, we're kind of done with this. It was
especially
fun.
if he's not going to embrace NIL.
Yeah,
hey,
well,
this year's I feel like
it.
it's not really the hot seat for him, but this year's kind of a big year for him.
They won 10 games last year, which is crazy.
I mean, look, when you're putting 12 teams in and you don't make that, and you've been what Clemson's been over the past decade, you're basically saying, oh, wait, we no longer have a top 12 team.
Yeah.
And that becomes a problem at that point, you would imagine, right? And I'm not saying that I think he's on the hot seat this year. I really don't. But what does it look like going forward if they don't make the playoff situation this year?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we should have a tailgate show.
Tailgate show.
We can't do it live. We talked about this.
I know, we can't do it live. We're still going to have it.
Well, he doesn't want that kind of pressure. He's like, no.
And
no, I know myself.
I'm going to figure out a way to make it live. I'm going to figure out a way to get the internet down there.
You can run it from lsu.edu. Log into your old email.
We're going to figure out like some. I know the hotspot runs off of cellular data. We're going to figure out something though.
Well, we first have to figure out how to get Lloyd functional.
Well, it's
I'll be
early
functional
enough.
during.
It's early.
It's the after.
It's actually
Someone's
great.
got to post it after.
Here's the deal. It's another excuse. Doing that gives me the excuse to get out. Ain't no more. Hey, where you at? I'm in traffic.
Ooh,
coming.
Allie, he is plotting on you right now.
I gotta
she's
work.
She's the one who told me that. She's like, y'all can go do that. It'd be great. And y'all just go there early and stay out there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. It's going to be the best home schedule LSU's had in a long time.
Yeah, and the best timing wise.
Maybe of all time.
I think so.
UCLA, Oklahoma, Alabama at home.
Ole Miss
Ole
at
Miss
home.
at home.
Oklahoma
I said that.
at home.
Yep, said that. Yeah, you got Arkansas on the road, A&M on the road.
Oh, that's the question that we just got in the chat about. I'll go to this one first. But Arkansas, I think that man, Sam Pittman's dead in the water. And from Hunter Hall, my guy, who gets fired first, Napier at Florida or Sam Pittman at Arkansas?
Sam Pittman in Arkansas. I got the feeling, bro. I got the feeling, even though we look at that schedule, and we talked about it the other day, I think there's a legit 8, maybe 9 games, I think, where I looked at it. I'm like, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if they'll win that game. For some reason, the name Florida Gators and as many games as they're going to play in Ben Hill Griffin, I just feel like they're going to find a way. May not be a great season, but I think Sam Pittman's in more trouble than
Does Florida get over 500?
Yeah, I think they do.
Okay, that's a great.
That's why I said it. Like,
if they get over 500, that's a good season for Billy.
And I
They'll keep him
But
for
what
that.
they think it. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
They keep him if they get over 500. They keep him. I would imagine.
I think both of their win totals are at either 5.5 or 6.5. LSU is sitting firmly at 9.5. I put that in today.
Arkansas is getting rid of Pittman.
Yeah, I feel like he feels dead in the water.
Yeah.
They're not even getting offensive lineman recruits, and that's his position that's where he coaches.
Right.
And so that's tough. And do you want
Billy's
another
done a good
question?
job though at Florida, trying to revamp that roster.
Well, I just feel like that. What Florida does is they run you out of town before they give you a shot. Like they would probably still would rather have
if they see a
the man whose wife kisses every player.
Yeah.
I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
I mean, let me pose this to you. At what point in this season, as I go down this schedule, do you say, oh shit, this may be a top 5 team, like a legit top 5 team? At
LSU?
what point? Yeah, LSU. When I go down this schedule, neutral site, USC, at home versus Nichols, at South Carolina, at home versus UCLA,
South Alabama, Ole Miss game.
versus South Alabama, night game, Ole Miss at home.
That one.
You get that win. Is that when you say
If you get that win after the teams you beat, you're definitely top 5.
1,000%.
No. I'm not talking about top 5 at this spot. I'm talking about what point of this makes you feel like,
At
oh
Ole Miss.
shit,
I mean, Ole Miss
they
at
will
home.
be in the top 5 at the end of the year.
Ole Miss. Ole Miss.
If they go win against USC, beat Nichols, and then go to South Carolina in an 11 a.m. game
Right.
and win, then I think that's when people are going to start ramping up the
You're gonna
LSU
start
hype
talking
machine.
it, and
Yeah.
then after you beat Ole Miss, okay,
But because
they're
I'm
real.
gonna be honest with you,
They're
I
real.
think it's more of a real thing after the UCLA game. I really do. And the reason why, like you said, you go neutral site, you go take care of, like, if you go play real good football there, like, this is why I think that it's possible at this spot. Because if you go play real good football here, that's a great win to start the year, right? Then you play Nichols, you do what you're supposed to do against Nichols. Then you go to South Carolina, who isn't a great team, but they're up and coming. They got a good coach there, a younger coach who's brought some fire in there, and who knows what they'll get out of the quarterback there this year, who could be possibly on par from what they got last year.
Yeah.
It's a very physical dude there. Who knows what that can be, right? If you go there and take care of business in somewhat of an impressive factor, like, there's a chance. Then you come home and you play UCLA, who's, let's be honest, the last two times that LSU's played them, ain't been good, coach.
Yeah.
Ain't been good.
Right.
And you beat them and you do what you're supposed to do, I'm going to be like, hey, this is different. Because I think if you're able to do that 4-game stretch, that month right there, I think that mindset that goes into this Ole Miss game is a completely different mindset and a completely different type of team going into that game.
I agree. When you first told me that, I was thinking, okay, after the UCLA game, and then I was thinking maybe that's maybe that's going to be ramp up the conversation, but then after the Ole Miss game, it makes it real. But
if you go undefeated in September, there will be a top 5 team.
that no doubt, right? I think
No,
they probably
I'm not
have
just talking about getting. I'm talking about where it is
No, I
at
know.
the end of the year.
I know.
Like, at what point do you believe you actually
they
have
prove?
that team?
Yeah, right. I think you're right, and I think by the way they play and how they win those games and how they like if they're doing the same thing that they've been doing offensively, like obviously maybe a notch lower, but like they're scoring 35 points a game and their defense is improved, and they're not giving up 30 points a game, and you're not winning 35-31 or 37-32, whatever it is.
45-44.
I think people are gonna look at it like, oh,
It's different.
okay, their defense is because they got challenged early.
See, and here's the reason why I asked this, because we got a week longer, and please understand, I know how our fan base is. I'm not comparing this team to the 2019 team. No. I'm gonna say when the season kicked off in 2019, ain't no way in hell you thought you were gonna get what you got, right? And that's the only reason why I'm saying this. But if you go to 2019, Georgia Southern, 55-3. They went to Texas, had that game, right? Texas ended up not being anybody at the end of the year, but it was a 45-38 game on the road at Texas, who at the time was a top 10 team. You beat them. Then you beat Northwestern State at home at 65-14. Then you went to Vandy, who was a nobody, and you put up a 66 spot, right? And then you beat Utah State at home 42-6. And then you played another top 10 Florida team who at the time, this is before the slide of Florida where it's been. So that was another team, and you beat them. So 5 games through, they were
42-28.
42-28. They were going to play Florida. At that point, I remember looking at it at that point being like, I still was in my mind, I got to see it against Alabama, man. Like,
Right.
But everything I saw, what they were doing at that time, you're like, bro, I ain't seen it like this.
Right.
Pretty much ever. This is a different team.
And
it proved to be that. But my point is now we've got hit in the face with one of those type of years. At what point this year could that possibly be the same thing?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there's going to be that kind of output, that kind of efficiency, but where is that a top 5 team if they're able to do it?
I think it happened for 2019 because you'd never seen an LSU offense look like that. So it
That's what
felt
I'm
like
saying,
a changing of the guard.
That's what I'm saying.
And for this team and this year and where LSU is now, I think it might be not maybe top 5, but you'll have a good grasp of what this team is after USC, after going against the Lincoln Riley offense, where you're like, can you stop them? Can you make a play?
I mean, bro, 2018, you had a whole year of Joe. They have that first game against Georgia Southern or against Texas. You'd be like, oh, that's a step up for Joe, but we got a good grasp of what we got here.
Yeah, but 2018 to 2019 looked totally different.
No, but it still kept going. That's my point. It still kept going.
LSU and Ole Miss definitely. LSU's schedule is way harder than Ole Miss to begin the season, but LSU and Ole Miss could be 7-0 against each other.
And you have a bye
similar to
week.
what it was 2 years ago, right? Right? Was that one when Ole Miss came in, they were undefeated, ranked like 3 in the country or whatever it was, and LSU beat them.
Doors.
Yeah,
Shut out the second half.
Exactly.
Woodshed.
That's when that's the Harold Perkins. What happened? 40 was out there. That was that game. But they could very well be 7-0. LSU 7-0 would look better than Ole Miss is 7-0. Ole Miss doesn't. They play Wake Forest, Georgia Southern, Kentucky, and then
cheeks
at South Carolina
Cheeks.
before LSU. So they got 2 road games in a row. But 7-0 going into that game, which is going to be awesome because Lane's obviously must-watch TV, and he's coming in. And then, LSU will be doing their thing, hopefully.
And they got Jackson Dart back for his 8th year.
Yeah, Walker Howard's on there waiting his turn.
Yeah, that's why he left. I thought he wanted to play.
He wanted to be the backup last year, wasn't? Now he's the backup now. Next man up.
But I do
Type
think
situation.
now with this new schedule and having this many conference games, like having that bye week after South Alabama going into Ole Miss is huge for LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Like
agree with
having 2 bye weeks is crazy because it used to just be before Alabama, that was it. That's when
Oh,
the
yeah, so we
schedule
get a
did.
bye week before Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 6-0, 7-0. Yeah. That's right, 2 byes now.
Yep.
That's weird.
But I do think that, and they had OTB with T-Bob and Hester had Blake Baker on today, and he was talking about, like, look, basically, it was
if Blake Baker's going there, we can get Corey. Right? If Coach, right?
I would imagine.
Okay.
If they're doing it every, you got to clear it with Bonnet. That's on y'all.
I can do that. We can do
Yeah,
it.
but that it all flows through the man anyway. You know that.
Yeah. But, yeah, I would love to have Corey on.
Go ahead.
But he was essentially talking about, like, because they were pitching the question of how much can this defense change in 1 year and how much does personnel matter. And he's like, look, Rome wasn't built in a day, but we should be better than we were last year. And when you start to look at, you didn't make wholesale changes defensively as terms of, like, players, but you did in terms of staff. And when you look back on it, you didn't have a defensive line coach for 4 weeks. And that's 4 weeks of the regular season, not 4 weeks of – they didn't have one for the offseason. They didn't have one leading up to the first game of the year. Now you have Kevin Peoples, somebody who is pretty much known as a defensive line guru. Now you have 2 defensive line coaches as opposed to none. And Blake Baker coming in with the staff and a linebacker whisperer and Corey Raymond on the back end. Like, I think all of that bodes well to where LSU won't be as bad defensively, where at least they know what there'll be an alignment assignment.
I'm glad you said it that way because I've spoke about it before on this show. Obviously, Blake is a great coach. You saw what he did in Missouri. You saw how he upgraded that squad and that roster and what they've done. He's a great coach, but he's also, what you said, a linebacker whisperer, right? He's good at that level. Obviously, he does it all, but he's good at that level. The other person that for so long, I think our fan base at LSU has personified him as just a recruiter, and I'm gonna be honest with you because I know the man personally. I've played on teams he's coached. I've played on teams he's been a GA on. The guy's a coach way more than he is a recruiter. So if you think he's a good recruiter, I'm telling you right now, he's light years better as a coach. And that's why guys that have come here have wanted to play under him, and they've gotten better under him, and they've gone on to have very successful careers. And they all love him, and they'll sit here and tell you straight up, I probably wouldn't be where I was if it wasn't for him. That ain't speaking to his recruiting ability. That's speaking to his coaching ability. Right. So I think when you watch this team play again, don't be surprised if the back end plays a lot better. Don't be surprised if it all comes together because you got, for what we know, 2 very good coaches, and we haven't even spoken on Bo Davis and the other D-line coach. Like, top 50.
Top 50. And that's what I think people are, like, whenever the Corey Raymond hire was made, it felt like it was almost maligned a little bit. We're like, oh, his best days are behind him. You saw what he did at Florida. Like, he didn't get a chance to recruit it and coach. He didn't get a chance to do either. Like, he wasn't there for long enough for it to matter.
No.
And now when you see him back at LSU and what he's done previous to this, I don't know why people are forgetting the fact that he can coach it
I think
as
people,
well.
Because they thought they saw it.
They're probably a little scarred by the Bo Pelini situation, you know. We saw it the first time around and the second time around.
And Darren Evans still got drafted.
I'm just that'd be my only guess. You know, that's my only guess. I know Corey way better than that. He ain't that type of dude.
Well, and
I won't say that type of dude.
Yeah. And
this
people
is
are looking at, oh, he's at Florida, they didn't do well, and he got fired. I think there's
I don't think y'all know the whole story.
Exactly, right? And so they're looking at just what they're seeing, and they're forming these opinions. I don't think he's a young guy, and like everything Jared just said, right? Like, I think we're all right. You ain't got to worry about that.
And you have a whole new slew of defensive backs coming back. With Alexander coming off injury, he should be back for maybe not the first game, but he'll be back for, I would imagine, at some point in the regular season coming off the ACL against Army. Yeah. And then you have J.K. from Ohio State that broke his leg before the year even started. You get to see him play. Yep. Like, you have a bunch of guys coming back that you haven't seen.
And I'm not so much worried with the secondary. It's the defensive line depth, right?
And I think that's where it gets to coaching again. Like, you got 2 guys that are going to coach it up.
And that's the difference, right? Like,
how much of a difference will it make?
You're going to have less. You're not going to have as much depth. Like, that's still going to be an issue, but you're going to be more skilled. You're going to be better coached at that position.
You're going to be coached.
Same with linebacker. You're going to be. I think you've upgraded coaching on all 3 levels of the defense.
I think they're in and I don't want to talk past this year, but when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, they're in a very, very good spot in terms of building a culture and building a team there.
Yeah.
You know, because there isn't a straight up outside of Perkins, which I think that quote unquote star being at the right spot is good because there isn't someone where you're like, hey, this guy's supposed to be an absolute bona fide star up front or an absolute bona fide star in the back end, but we can't rush the passer, so he's always getting cooked because timing doesn't work, or the other way around. Like, the star is kind of in the middle, and that's where it's fine at. And right now, you're going to be able to watch a team that's going to have to play a lot of team ball up front, and they have to play a lot of team ball on the backside, and they're going to have to pursue, and they're going to have to tackle the hell out of the football, and they have to do a lot of things together. That bodes well moving forward when you start bringing in more top-end talent and bringing in all those recruits that they're starting to bring in.
Football season's here. Football season's here.
Well, and I think that they almost made a little bit of a statement by bringing Harold Perkins to SEC Media Days where they feel comfortable in what his role will be and what he's going. Because last year it felt like a lot of the pressure was put on him and how to use him. You don't know how to use him. You're wasting a star.
What did you say? Linebacker whisper. That's what I'm excited to watch.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm reading in maybe a little bit too much into it, but bringing him to SEC Media Days and letting him answer questions
you're a
about the
leader.
defense.
Like, you're
Bro,
on the
I
team.
mean, come on, dude. Like it's
It's
you
his
know,
time.
he was year 2 on the team. I don't give a damn how good you are. I would imagine. I'm just guessing. I would imagine. I could probably be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I would imagine Tyrann Mathieu wasn't there on media day in sophomore year. I would imagine Patrick Peterson wasn't there media day in sophomore year. I'm just imagining.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not surprised at all that he didn't go last year. And you had guys from that defensive side who were eventual second rounders. Like, there was guys there. So they were going to get the nod. So for me, the media day for him thing doesn't really tell me anything except that we all know what he knows, what that coaching staff knows is, hey, show out, my guy.
He's
It's
good.
your time.
It'll be all right. You
It's
play.
your
You
time.
play like you're as talented as they come.
Yeah.
So you just play how you play to your talent. You're gonna be all right.
Yeah, Patrick went in 2010.
So that was a sophomore year or junior?
No, that was not. No,
That was
he
his
was
sophomore
there.
year.
2010. This is the fall. He came in the same year I did. So it's just that 2010 was his third football season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Junior
So
year.
he wasn't
Yeah.
there. That's what I'm saying. But I said, because I played with him his freshman year.
Yeah.
Stud.
Yep.
Then it was Ryan Baker and T-Bob Abear and Jordan Jefferson. And less.
Same thing, like, did Will Campbell go last year?
It was Jaden Daniels, Josh Williams, and Kai Wingo.
There you go.
So it's what my point
It's a
is
veteran thing.
We're probably not going to be a very good team. I don't give a damn how talented we are as a young team. We're probably not going to be a very good team if we don't have veteran, older leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Those are usually the guys that I'm banking on you to be able to set the tone for the year. You may not be the brightest star that shines during the year, but you have to be the personalities and the kind of work and kind of guys that we need to set the tone for the
Yeah.
year. So those are the guys that end up going to these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is since 2019. You've had 3 quarterbacks go: Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels in 2023, and now Nussmeier this year. But before that, the last one that went was Zach Mettenberger. So it shows you where you are in the quarterback room and how LSU has developed that position as well.
Yeah.
Shout out Sloan.
Shout out. All right. We're real close. We're pushing our way through it. We're gonna get to football season. All-Star game will give us something to watch. Home run derby. Change the rules of the home run derby, by the way.
I saw that.
Yeah, I think it's
Like
good
it.
for the better.
I wish
not-
they would go back to the outs, but I do like this
yeah,
better.
this is better. We're kind of trying to figure out that happy medium. So looking forward to that. All-Star games, I watch a few innings and then if I want to watch a specific guy pitch, Paul Skeens.
Allah.
I kind of like watching the All-Star game because it's like the only competitive one still out there.
Yeah, true.
Who was the commissioner? Oh, poor Bud really put himself in a pickle there.
And they did a better job of now winners get paid money
Yeah.
instead of saying
You don't get
home
Game
field
7 of the World
you get
Series?
home field advantage.
Oh, really?
Well, we're 40 games under 500. I don't care.
So the All-Star break, the All-Star game is going to determine home field advantage for a team that has been playing all year to earn that, as opposed to the the division. Just saying, hey, we're going to put
I don't have
bunch
that
of guys
much
together.
pride in the NL.
You can't, that's not. So they did the right thing. But yeah, so the Major League Baseball games next weekend. So we'll have something of substance. Wimbledon's really fun. Soccer, obviously great.
A lot of grass, a lot of ball.
Not something I'm going home to watch unless it's on TV. You know what I mean?
Which it
but
is. We have 2 more Ask Him
that's-
Nims real
okay.
quick from DA. Ask Him Nim. Do you think Tommy Moffitt has to change his conditioning routine because the players will just quit and transfer if it's too hard, or will he keep the same style?
he ain't changing
Texas
anything.
A&M.
If you know Tommy Moff,
No,
tell you what.
he's not going to change the mentality.
he's
He's
going to
get
get
better.
smarter. He's going to get better. He's going
Yeah.
to get more refined. But that mentality, that ain't
Nah, I ain't
changing,
going anywhere.
bro.
That's what
And
makes
if
me
you
happy.
ain't got that, you will not be playing for Texas A&M. I can
No.
promise you
Don't
that.
show up with one shoe and one sock on. That's what I learned.
Don't show up Don't show up 1 second after that workout's supposed to start either.
Yeah.
That ain't changing. That's him.
Next one,
Shouldn't
last
change.
one. Is
Yep.
Brady Neal a 25 home run guy from Hunter Hall? Now he's at Alabama. I think he could be, and don't rain on my parade.
25. That's a
That's a
lot.
ton.
I did not think he has 25 home runs.
And do you see him more at DH or catcher?
Catcher.
I'm going to go with no. Respectfully. I just don't think he's a 25 homer guy. That's a
a
lot.
lot.
Of homers. I would be honestly surprised if he hit 20.
I think over under is probably like in the chat we got 15.
I'm about to say 13, I was thinking. 12, 13, somewhere in there.
Yep. Sounds about right.
What's he batting?
I don't know.
I don't
190?
Something like that. All right, let's get to the Seggy's Mistake of the Day, brought to you by our friends at Dozy Place. You got it?
Do I have it? Yes, I do have it. Mistake of the Day brought to you by Dozy Place. And this is Midsummer Workouts again. But we have a little bit of quarterback controversy between one Cam Ward, who put his name in the draft, took it out, and now he's working out with a squad where Shadur Sanders was also, and they get into a little spitting match about, you didn't come here to work, and he's like, you were late. And so it turns out this guy's trying to be accountable, but you can't be accountable if you ain't there on time. So just an interesting little back and forth between two guys that probably feel as if they're alphas in the room.
Start getting on the phone. Get on. No bullshit. No bullshit. You know we don't get water. Y'all can handle that heat. That's what it is. It's cool though. That's your team. Huh? What? You live out here. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. I've been up there. Colder. You think your water's too? I don't think y'all got better today. I don't think you got better today. You know I did. I got better. I might have been the reason we was late, but I got better. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get better tomorrow on Saturday. We throwing comebacks. We throwing comebacks. You just lost it. You placed it. You not throwing it. Okay. Come on, man. Let's start getting.
It's an interesting dynamic of calling somebody out after you've just been late to practice.
Yeah, that's tough. Not gonna land real well there.
No, but
probably the wrong guy.
Especially when you got wide receivers going, bro. You was the reason we were late. Like, yeah, but I got better. Interesting, but because Miami's going to be on the chopping block first game of the year.
Yeah, you know what else
Miami,
is
Florida,
be on the chopping block and under the scope. The Buffaloes too. They're gonna be all over them this year. So it's both of them. Watch both of them this year.
And they're both feeling it already.
Curtain call brought to you by our friends at Assured Partners. Me. You got one of those?
I do.
Okay.
We mentioned it a little bit earlier, but just hard to beat LSU whenever you got the limelight going on, because the white party was balling and LSU was all over it when you have studs everywhere. And not only studs, but celebrities at this point, where you have Joe Burrow, Livia Dunn, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, all
and Lil Wayne there.
And Lil Wayne.
Not LSU, obviously.
Oh, but I mean, now that he's on a song with Flo J, I feel like
that's it.
That purple and gold is running through the blood. But you got all the stars out. Obviously, there's Burrow, who is just all-time glow-up by this man.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's the squad. Odell, everybody.
Don't forget to mention Ryan Clark was at this party, too. Not
was he?
Not pictured, yeah. So there was more LSU squad there.
Good old Tom. Tom always holds his hands weird in pictures. Have you noticed that?
Oh. He's had a drink. He probably didn't want that in the picture.
Very quarterbacky.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what he does with his hands in the booth.
Yeah. Boy, it's gonna be fun. We've been waiting to hear this.
I have been looking forward to that. Jay, you got one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just go ahead and double down on this thing, man. You go great season. You go national championship. You go College World Series MVP. You go first overall pick. You buzz up through the minor leagues, and all in 1 year, in the calendar year, you have found yourself in the All-Star game. And what we just talked about early in the show, and we preluded already, a possible All-Star game start. Curtain call Paul Skeens, man. That's impressive, bro.
You're making me.
You love the one on our own. That is impressive.
He's gonna make me watch the All-Star game. I don't ever watch the All-Star game, but I'm gonna watch it now because I want to watch him pitch. I think we did his like pitching schedule. It seems like it's gonna be right on schedule for him.
He's got a chance.
So, yeah.
I do have the video of him getting announced.
Okay.
From the Pirates brass.
The manager.
Start talking about
who's the manager?
Going to the All-Star game and it being really important. I feel very strongly that we have multiple people that should be going that are not going, and that's unfortunate. But on the flip side of that, we are going to celebrate the people that are going because it's really important. I was fortunate enough and Coach, honored, me last year, and it was very important to me. Tony Leo, we honored, who is going this year. This is a special game. This is a special thing to be part of. So the first person we have going is going for the second time. And he should get a bottle of bourbon, but I'll give him a bottle of champagne, Brian Reynolds.
Good start so far. Just keep grinding. We'll, get to where we want to get to.
And for his first time, Paul Skeens.
This is cool. And I'm just grateful for all you guys. Since the first day I've been here, I've been part of the team. So couldn't have done it without you guys.
I remember nowadays more than ever. Like, Paul's a human. Paul's a person. I don't know how much he pays attention to it, or notifications go wild. Like, is the head coach, the manager in this situation, the first person to kind of put this out there, or has there been some kind of reporters or something, or somebody somewhere that has kind of put this out there? Now it's in his mentions. Now it's popping up on his phone, and he knew already.
I think he knew.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think so too,
Yeah.
but you never know. Sometimes these situations aren't the first time they just because of how much information gets out and gets leaked, and people always want to be the first, not so much the most correct.
Yeah, true.
Well, yeah, it's not exactly the Major League. Whenever he calls Wild Thing into the office, like, you don't get the news from the manager first anymore. Like, dude, you've been cut.
You get it when you get called up. You get it honestly when you get cut, probably. But like stuff like this, they've probably already announced it.
Agent.
And the agent probably knows like that kind of stuff, because that's a little different.
Yeah, but still, agent is somebody that would probably be like, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, right.
I want the surprise.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the same thing in the media. So.
Yeah, true. But yeah, shout out to Paul, man. That's much deserved. Hope he starts. Mine, staying on the baseball train. We talked about this guy earlier in the year. Whenever he announced that when he got to the season, that he learns English, because he wanted the fans to be able to understand him and him to be able to understand the fans.
Not gambling on baseball.
And that's not him. It's Elliot De La Cruz from the Dominican. So you don't usually get a lot of these guys that embrace that. And the ones you do that are really good and want to do it end up being like him. I was rooting for him. Not only is he super smart by doing that, he is
a superstar.
He's a superstar. He broke the record for most stolen bases before the first half of the season. Now, the stolen base the rules have made it a little bit easier to steal, but he is, as he says, the fastest man alive, and has 45 stolen bases at the All-Star break. Now, he has made the All-Star team, and he comes out in the media and says he has been learning how to speak Japanese so he could talk to Shohei.
Hey, I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I think that's awesome.
This is one dude.
Man's addicted to learning.
This is one dude that is so easy to root for, bro. He plays the game right. He is super electric when you watch him play, and he's obviously a all-time type of dude, man. So it ain't hard at all to root for that kind of guy.
So that's my current call, Elliot De La Cruz. All right, that's all we got for you today on this beautiful Monday. We'll be back live in studio Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. If you are a Bachelorette fan, enjoy that. I'm about to go home, and my wife has a bunch of friends at the house.
We'll watch Game of Thrones tonight.
Game of Thrones or House of Dragons?
House of Dragons.
I haven't seen it. I haven't started that. I'm going to watch probably a couple episodes of The Bear
tonight. In a different room?
Well, I'm going to try to... Yeah.
You'll be watching The Bachelor.
Yeah.
No. There's too many people in there. I'm going to go in the other room, watch The Bear.
He'll be right there with all the girls eating all the popcorn.
Hey, wait till you see who's in The Bear now.
Joel McHale.
What is this, Cocaine Bear?
I haven't seen it either. It made it so much funnier. And He popped up. This is I think I'm on the
Well,
third.
damn, tell us.
Oh, it's probably Shane Gillis.
Nope.
Damn
Is
it.
he in it too?
I don't know.
Oh.
I would say
It's like a
that man's
maybe
burning
the
bright.
third or fourth, fifth episode of the third season.
You're in it.
Oh, I'm in it.
Do you like it? Like, do you
Love
like
it.
the stress of it?
I love it. I love it.
Love a startup. Reminds me a lot of, being here. Can't fail. Has to work.
And like it's cool. They give you different. But John Cena,
All
so funny to me.
retired.
Yeah, well, after this year
Oh.
or next year maybe. But he is. Why'd you get this man on TV like this?
What are you doing?
No, bro, get me off the TV. why would you do that?
Yeah, John Cena. He made it funny. It was really funny, actually.
He's been a great actor.
Great, and I think he's funny.
Ricky Stenicki.
Because he's so big and like, but he's just, I don't know. He's good. He's funny. I laugh at him.
It's a great, probably the best wrestler to actual actor. You don't count The Rock.
How can you not count The Rock?
I think he's more actor than wrestler. He's more
No!
just like a.
What? Dude,
He's more. I'm
You
saying.
don't remember Rocky Maivia and The Rock, man? Get out of here! I would throw
Are you
this ball.
kidding me?
I would
The
throw
Rock-
this
no.
ball through your teeth right now.
More celebrity than wrestler. John
yeah,
Cena's still
in
a
his
wrestler.
second career.
Yeah.
I think John Cena right now is more celebrity than wrestler. Now,
What? Man, you're crazy.
John Cena's better at it.
I disagree.
Nah, I'm good, bro.
The Rock is fake.
Man,
No, he's not, dude. The Rock's genuine. Even if he's fake, you can't say that. He's too genuine.
Oh, there's so much stuff on the internet about him being fake where he's posting like, this is the first time I've had alcohol. Like, look at my new tequila. It's like, no, you posted this last year. He's just a fraud.
Okay. Well, that's a completely different argument from where you started.
That's what I'm saying. He's not genuine. John
Anyway,
John Cena is genuine.
Enjoy. That's you think. Oh, hey, at most Make-A-Wish. He's granted the most Make-A-Wish
Wishes.
wishes, if anyone. But enjoy the rest of your Monday. If you watch The Bachelorette, enjoy it. If you don't, if you watch The Bear, enjoy
He thinks
that.
been asked
If you
the
watch
most.
House of Dragons, enjoy what?
He thinks he's been asked the most to do Make-A-Wish and has turned it down.
Oh, I don't know.
Man. No, what? No, I don't know.
I don't know. All right. We love you. We appreciate you. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you don't like watching us, you like listening to us, wherever you get your pods. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night.
Who's gonna win
Hope
The
everybody
Bachelor?
in Houston is okay. And avoid major
If you want to know how The Bachelor went, that's
Monday,
tweet at
Wednesday.
Mikey. No, just tweet at Mikey.
I will not be
Yeah.
watching it. Good night. Peace.
House of Love, though.